Welcome to another AOPEN webcast. My name is Leroy and I'm the Regional Sales Manager for the Nordics and for the Baltics. And today we will do the webcast together with Arco. Hi Arco.
Hi, Arco de Vos, Manager FE. So we are the department that do all the technical stuff.
So a combination of sales and more technical information, and I think that's what we would like to have a different setup today. So to have a more Q&A kind of format with questions from a sales perspective that we receive from the field, and then the right answers from the technical specialist. Since this is a Q&A session between Arco and me, of course your questions are the most important. So at the end of this session we will have a live time for answering all the questions. Below we have a Q&A button, and there you can ask all your questions during the session, and after we finish this we will provide you with all the answers. So it's not just a Q&A, right Arco? We are going to highlight a new product that we have in our portfolio, but especially highlighting some of the new features of this product. So we're going to talk about DE3450, and that's the successor of our DE3250, and that has been one of our best-selling models the last couple of years. And of course today we would like to share with you what the biggest differences between the two products are. So Arco, that's a question that I would like to ask you. What's the main difference between the two models?
Well, to start off with, the 3450 can do 4K.
Okay.
The 3250 wasn't powerful enough to do this. Actually, it can do 4K with hardware acceleration, so that's a nice plus. But the reason for this webcast is the AICU, so the AOPEN Intelligent Controlling Unit. With this AICU, we can do a couple of things. We can do EDID emulation. We can see whether an HDMI cable is disconnected, and another couple of other things we can touch upon later on as well.
Okay, but we have a live demo here, so I think you can show it
for sure.
to the public.
Well, this is our 3450. It comes in a beautiful brown box. Let's see what's in it. Sort of an unboxing. First, we get a little bit of a hard copy manual, something we always put to the side immediately. Then we have a driver CD for those who still use optical drives. And this is something special. Now, let me open that. To prevent the DC jack from coming out. It's a little metal bracket. Then we have the unit itself. We'll leave that on the side. We've got some L brackets, which you can attach to the sides of the unit and then screw anywhere. Power cord. And the little power brick. Then we have a sticker which you can stick to the bottom of the unit if you want. So put this back. Then we have the unit itself. Well, it's a little black box. Really thin. It's passively cooled. So let's take a look at all the connections. First, the front of the unit. And we have two holes, two antenna holes, which are covered with a little piece of rubber. We've got the COM port, DB9, RS232, two USB 3 ports, and the power button. As this is the successor of the 3250, we've got some complaints that we had very few USB ports, so we listened to that, and this one has 2 USB ports more. And we've got the DC jack, 19 volts, 2 network ports, 2 HDMI ports, which this is HDMI 2, this is HDMI 1.4. Then we've got 2 audio ports, so line in and line out, or microphone in, and extended power button, which can be used in a kiosk or something. Let's hook it up and see what it does. So the 3450, it's the first one we have with the AICU. The AICU contains out of 5 parts actually. That's an EDID emulator, it's a HDMI cable detection, it's the customer data field, we've got an infrared control, and we've got the RTC, super RTC actually. And that's the 5 parts of the AICU. The part I'm going to demonstrate today, that's the EDID emulator. First I'll show you what happens when you don't have an EDID emulator and something goes wrong with either one of the screens. So I'll start up a video and I'll drag that over to the other screen as well, so it's very clear what happens when one of those two loses connection. Windows is sort of upset. Media player crashes. So that's not something we want to see. To prevent this, we have the AICU. It comes with a little program called AICU. In there we have a couple of options. First we need to connect to the AICU. Then we can read the EDIDs. That's the extended digital identification data for the screens. Every screen has an EDID, and that communicates which resolution it can support and what is their preferred resolution. So first we read out the EDID of screen 1 and then write it to the emulator of screen 1. Then we read out the data of screen 2 and write to the emulator for screen 2. So that's done. Quit. Go to the EDID emulator and we say read the EDID from the emulator. Apply setting. Yes, all looks great. So now we can quit. Now when we start the video and drag it over to the second screen as well, now when I disconnect the screen, nothing should change. See? Windows is okay with it. It just sees the second monitor via the EDID emulator, and it just continues operating on screen 1. When screen 2 is reattached, it will start up and just continue operation as if nothing happened. Suppose you have dodgy cables or long cables in your setup. Mostly longer than 5 meters is tricky. The EDID data can get lost somehow. So the signal is still there, just the EDID data is not longer available. Then Windows will start complaining and do funny stuff like we saw before.
Okay, so thanks for the demo, Arco. I think I have some extra questions regarding the AICU, so I hope you can come here to the bar again so that we can have a chat about it. Hey. So, you just showed us the EDID solution. How can customers normally fix this at this moment?
Normally you have to buy third-party EDID emulators. So you connect those externally, then connect the monitor to that. But those can be quite expensive.
Okay, so actually the customer can save a lot of money with this technology?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and next to that, I think the AICU you mentioned has 5 special features.
Yeah.
One of them was Super RTC. Can you explain a bit how this works?
Sure. Super RTC is actually sort of the big brother of the normal RTC. The normal RTC can make a schedule which will start up the system every day at the same time. The Super RTC can make a weekly schedule. So Monday you can start up at 8 o'clock, Tuesday you can start up at 9 o'clock, and then you also have the off setting. So you don't have to make a scheduled task in Windows anymore. You just go to the Super RTC and say, turn off at 10 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, so this is especially very nice for example, retail customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and for the EDID, I think you mentioned HDMI cable loss detection as well.
Yeah.
How does this work in the field?
It's especially interesting if you're remote controlling the systems. So suppose one system is black, a customer calls you and the screen is black. Then you log into the system, you start up the IACU. And with cable loose detection, you can see whether the cable is loose or there's something else going on.
So you don't.
It certainly can help.
Okay, yeah. That's good. Yes, during the unboxing, you showed a little shiny thingy.
Oh yeah,
what was that?
That's the anti-loose cable thingy. Let me demonstrate that for you. First, you connect it. The power brick, then simply screw the bracket in place. Now it cannot go anymore.
Oh,
so it's completely secured.
That's sweet. Yeah, I think for now what I understand is that the AICU has 5 special features. First of all, we have the EDID emulator, and this is to read the EDID data of different screens to meet the advanced requirements of digital signage. Second of all, we have the Super RTC. With the Super RTC, it is possible to schedule your device with different on and off times. So in a retail environment, you can, for example, turn it off flexibly during the week. The third feature is the IR remote control. With the optional IR remote control, you have control from a distance over the device. So you have basically the possibility to power on and off the device. The fourth feature is the HDMI signal detection, and this basically gives you a message when the HDMI cable is loose. The fifth and last feature is the system data record. This basically gives you the opportunity to log data and review hardware information from a distance. Okay, so thanks for visiting this webcast. It can be that we didn't answer all of your questions, so if you still have an open question, we will contact you with the answer later. And if you have any other questions, feel free to contact us through request@aopen.com or visit our website. So thanks again for watching, and talk to you soon.